Hey guys, welcome back to another Dragon Ball Z theory video. Today I'm going to be talking about 3 controversial and very popular Dragon Ball Z topics. The first theory is about King Cold, you know, the father of Frieza. Some say King Cold was stronger than Frieza, but never had a chance to display his power since his time on Dragon Ball Z was so short-lived. There are a few facts that merit this argument, and I'm going to go over those. When we visually see King Cold for the first time, he appears to be in his second transformed state for whatever reason. Another argument for this theory is that although Frieza boasts about being the ruler of the universe, he still seems to be under the wing of his father, using all of King Cold's equipment such as his battleships and engineers during the full body repair. Also, King Cold is addressed as King, which is a status symbol in royal families, because he's at the absolute peak of the hierarchy of his race. We had an opportunity to see King Cold at his maximum power, but that opportunity was taken away by Future Trunks once he annihilated him. Future Trunks is the type of fighter who wants to get down to business. He doesn't like wasting time or giving his opponents any sort of chance or opportunity to reach their full potential, which is another fact that backs up the theory that he was only in his second form. Given the fact that Future Trunks was the one to kill King Cold, we can assume that if Goku had been the one to kill him, the fight would have been more gruesome and drawn out. Similar to the fight with Frieza, Goku loves a challenge. He would ultimately give him every single window to put himself at the top of his game. This makes Goku a risky fighter, much like Vegeta. We've seen this time and time again during the Cell Saga, with instances like Goku giving Cell a Senzu Bean just to repair against Gohan, or Vegeta allowing Semi-Perfect Cell to absorb Android 18 just to push himself against his own limits. However, Trunks is not like this, not at all. Like I said before, he's very precise and down to business. He will not take any sort of risk just to rival his own strength, which is why he killed King Cold within seconds of meeting him. Letting King Cold see his sword moments before his death was probably the most risky thing Trunks has ever done. This was most likely because Trunks knew he was going to be ending King Cold's life within the next few moments anyway. Another very popular topic is fusion, and the mechanics of how this actually works. We all know that in Dragon Ball Z that there are 2 types of fusion, the first being a non-permanent fusion, where 2 people would perform a sequence of dance moves in sync with one another before suddenly merging into one being. The new being will usually have a massive power-up in strength, speed, and sometimes even the ability to transform past what each individual entity could do on their own. This type of fusion usually lasts about 30 minutes and was first taught to Goten and Trunks by Goku after he learned how to perform it by one of the Meta Marines in Otherworld. This type of fusion has a few different aliases, but can be recognized by names such as the Metamarine Art Fusion, Fusion Pose, the Metamarine Fusion, or the Fusion Dance. The second form of fusion is known as Potara Fusion. Unlike the Fusion Dance, this Potara Fusion is in fact permanent. Participants of the Potara Fusion merge bodies permanently by wearing the opposite Potara earrings to one another, which causes both bodies to collide with one another, creating a whole new, permanent fused being with the genetic makeup of the 2 previous beings. The Potara fusion technique was introduced and invented by the Supreme Kais of the Otherworld. The fusion is so permanent that even after death the bodies will never go back to their separate states, they will in fact remain one permanent body forever. If 2 non-equal beings are fused with one another, the superior being will be in control of the new body for the most part. This is seen when Old Kai fuses with the witch who tricked him into fusing in the first place. The new body will inherently have a merged voice of the 2 people who fused, and will retain all memories of the fused individuals. Originally in Dragon Ball Z, this type of fusion was said to be permanent, but we learned later in Dragon Ball Super that unless at least one fusee is a Supreme Kai, that the fusion will only last for 1 hour. This creates some plot holes in Dragon Ball Z, but since the theory was never tested in the show, this is all that we have to go on. The only way to defuse after Potara earring fusion would be to either make a wish using the Dragon Balls or wait the 1 hour. This theory, however, differs from the fusion dance method, as it was shown in the Dragon Ball Z movie Wrath of the Gods that it was actually possible to be knocked out of a fusion state. Gotenks was hit so hard by Hirudegarn that he was actually forced to defuse far before the 30 minutes was up. But what if 2 fused beings were to fuse with one another? It has never been shown, proven, or disproven, but based off the evidence we've been provided in each sequence, it seems that the only way a 4-way fusion would be possible is if there is at least one Supreme Kai involved. If a Supreme Kai is involved, the fusion will retain permanency, given that Supreme Kais are unable to defuse and obviously hold some sort of superior relevancy to fusing in general. It seems that in Dragon Ball Super, fusion will more than likely be brought up again in the future, so to be 100% certain on this theory, we will just need to wait and see. Who knows, we may see some kind of 4-way fusion in a battle later on. The third and final Dragon Ball Z theory I'm going to be talking about in this video is the legendary Super Saiyan theory. Of course, the 2 main culprits of this theory are none other than Bardock and Broly, but what if there's a third? During the Namek Saga, Vegeta explains that the original Super Saiyan, the Super Saiyan of legend, was last seen 3,000 years ago. Given that Broly and Goku were both babies at the time, and given that Vegeta is about 5 years older than Goku, there is realistically no chance that Broly could have been the original Super Saiyan of legend that Vegeta was told about as a child. I believe that the ability Legendary Super Saiyan is no more than a transformation state that differs from the actual wordplay of the word legend. The Legendary Super Saiyan was an unknown Saiyan who could transform into a Super Saiyan and was thought of as only a myth. But many believe that this was Bardock due to the movie where he goes back in time and battles an ancestor of Frieza after his homeworld was destroyed. During this battle, Bardock becomes a Super Saiyan, which is why many people believe him to be the original Super Saiyan, but there's absolutely no evidence that supports whether he is the original Super Saiyan from thousands of years ago, or if he is just another Super Saiyan among the three. I personally believe that neither Bardock or Broly are the original or legendary Super Saiyan for that matter. I personally prefer to think that there is an unknown Saiyan that was able to achieve this transformation thousands of years back, which is what stemmed the theory of Super Saiyans to begin with. This, however, is just my personal opinion. It has always been the way I've watched and enjoyed the show. I feel that it adds a little bit more depth to the series and leaves you wondering who this Saiyan is, if he will ever be named, and if we will ever get to know a little bit more about him. Even if we don't get to know anything else about who this Saiyan is or how he became a Super Saiyan, the idea that there's so much mystery in the race of the Saiyan always leaves more room for story to be written, explained, discussed, and expanded on. Anyways guys, that wraps up today's video of Dragon Ball Z Theory. If you enjoyed the theories, leave a comment below, thumbs up and subscribe if you would like to see more, and also feel free to leave a suggestion in the comments. I'm always looking for new interesting Dragon Ball theories to discuss. Anyways guys, hope you enjoyed these few theories. Let us know what your favorite one was and whether you agree or disagree. Thanks for watching this episode of Deep Z Theory.